Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today I want to talk about LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva, what this guy's capable of and what he is willing to do. Okay, so LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva, this guy has been all over the news lately, not just for what he did during California's state of emergency, which is say that gun shops are non-essential and he was going to go ahead and close them all down, but by some of the comments that he's made recently too, talking about how if somebody gets cabin fever, they're somehow more dangerous and more likely to actually use the firearm that they just recently purchased, which is completely ludicrous. I mean, this guy's out of his mind to begin with, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But here's the thing. I actually helped retired Sheriff Deputy Bob Lindsay run against Alex Villanueva during the recent elections for LA County Sheriff. So I know about this guy, I know what he stands for, I know what he ran on, and it does not surprise me at all the things that he's saying and the things that he is trying to do. This is right within his wheelhouse. So for those people that say, I didn't even know who this guy was, or I didn't know that this guy had that type of stance, well, get ready because his stance is actually even worse. So Los Angeles County really has their hands full with this guy. You have the city of LA, and then you have LA County. LA County is a huge area. I mean, it encompasses a lot of land and has millions of residents. So whatever decisions this guy makes affects a lot of people. Now, here's the thing you have to remember is that a police chief is appointed by the mayor, but a sheriff is elected by the people. Now, like I was saying before, I actually helped campaign for a retired sheriff's deputy named Bob Lindsay, who is super pro Second Amendment. I was really hoping he was going to win and change things, but I helped campaign for him, and in doing so, I got to know a little bit about Alex Villanueva based off of his campaign. And so based off of what he was talking about during his campaign, I'm really not surprised to see him jump on any opportunity he can to simply strip the Second Amendment away from the people. He's fine having guns. He's fine with politicians and elected people and his sheriff deputies all having guns, but he does not want the public to have guns, and he has no problem letting that be known. Now, think about what this guy just said on national TV, out in the open, in the public, for everybody to see. This is what he thinks we'll do if we get bored because of cabin fever.
So you're saying it's not a good idea for people to be buying guns because they're alarmed?
No. Buying guns is a bad idea. Particularly one, you have a lot of people now that are at home. Normally they're not. Cabin fever sets in. You got a crowded environment, people at home. Weapons are not a good mix.
Yep, you heard that right. No smoke and mirrors out in the public. We know what he thinks. This guy thinks we are so stupid and so volatile and so ready to go off that simply being quarantined or stuck at home with your family for a couple weeks is going to give you such bad cabin fever that somehow it's going to light your fuse and you're going to do something that you regret. That's what he thinks, okay? So we know his stance on the Second Amendment. We know his stance on everything else that he ran on. That was his platform. But now we know what he thinks of us. We know what he thinks of the people. He thinks that we're stupid, he thinks that we're volatile, and he thinks that we shouldn't be trusted with these things. So that's the main problem. He doesn't think that we should be trusted with these things. He should be trusted with it, his guys should be trusted with it, the government should be trusted with it. But we can't be trusted to stay at home for 2 weeks because who knows what would happen from cabin fever. And this guy is an actual joke. He's an actual joke, okay? That's what he said. He doesn't trust you. Okay, and when you have a sheriff who doesn't trust the people, he'll do everything in his power to take whatever he can away from you so that he can trust you with your foam rubber mats and your padded walls. That's essentially what it boils down to. So Villanueva is an anti-Second Amendment sheriff that hopefully one day will get voted out, because you guys have to remember, again, there will be elections. Elections happen all the time. There's a cycle that happens every couple of years. And so you have a chance to get rid of this guy and put in somebody that's maybe pro-Second Amendment and move this guy out. Unlike a police chief, which is pretty much going to stay there unless the mayor changes his mind through the entire mayoral term that he's going to be in there for, so 8 years or whatever. Okay, for as long as the mayor is going to be there, probably his police chief that he chose in day one is going to be there as well. But the sheriff could be there infinitely. I mean, it's very rare for a sheriff to be voted out. They usually stay until they retire. But that gives you an opportunity to move this guy on down the road and say, hey, we don't want your policies. So remember, when the next time the election comes around for sheriff, don't vote for Villanueva. This guy doesn't trust the people. He doesn't trust you. He doesn't like the Second Amendment. And obviously, he'll do whatever he can to try and take that away from everybody. So I just want to let you guys know who this guy really is, and it should not shock you and it should not surprise you when you see him attempt this again in the future. The second he gets a green light for anything, he's going to take everything. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, I want to thank you guys all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.